Items. They're the secret hunter of the Monster Hunter world. Every hunter utilizes items in some way. Some people may use items minimally, only bringing a couple potions or antidotes. And some people will maximize the amount of items they can take to optimize every single hunt. But what if you took that away? What if you went into a hunt, but you never used an item? So no healing items, no antidotes, no traps, no stat boosters, not even a whetstone. How would that change the game? Without our invisible ally, will it get hard? Well, that's what I set out to do on Twitch. Go follow me. Before I get into this, let me set the rules. The first rule, and the most easiest of all of them, no using standard items. So anything I mentioned in the intro, such as healing potions, stat changers, yada yada yada, can't use those. The second rule, no stat buffing items. And I don't mean the stat changers such as the demon powder or armor powder. I mean the armor and power charms. Though you don't technically use these items, I felt like it was using the item. Having it in your inventory is using the item. You get the stats for it. I also decided to ban abandoning quest. I wanted to keep track of how many deaths and how many quest fails I got. So if I could just leave a quest when it looked like I was gonna fail, that would remove the point. Though I did opt to keep these two types of items, I don't really count them because they don't stay in your inventory. The first of which is the slinger ammo. You can't keep slinger ammo, so I decided to let it fly. The same goes for environmental items. Things like Vigor Wasp and Wiggy Itchy is fine. The last thing I added was Palico commands. I didn't really count them as items because I was bringing my Palico along. Though if this video does well, then I will go and do a challenge without any of these. With that laid out, let's begin. Our adventure starts like any other. Character creation. I take some time to make a character that is the splitting image of myself and begin the purgatory that are cutscenes. I didn't realize how many long and unskippable cutscenes there were in this game. During the 1,000,000 years I was in cutscenes, I decided on which weapon I wanted to use for the run. The Great Sword. This challenge was a perfect time to learn a new weapon, and the Great Sword seemed a perfect fit for it. With that decided, the run could actually start. The first quest was simple. Make some Jaggy perish. Very simple task, except a menace decided to rear its head. My computer. When I started streaming Monster Hunter World, my computer tends to stutter on some parts of the map, particularly areas with a lot of assets. So the entrance to the Jagged Cove was kind of an issue. I tried everything to alleviate the issue, and before you ask, yes, I do have a potato for streaming. I'm broke, don't judge me. Anyways, the next quest was just as simple as the first. Make some Castrodon perish. Despite the twist being take down great Jaggers as well, it was also pretty easy. It was so far so good as I went into the next quest against Kulu Yaku. I started the quest, and after a ton of cutscenes and getting lost in the ancient forest, it was time to take him down. I played this fight almost perfectly. Almost. I did end up overcommitting and scoring my first feint to the run. The sad part was, it was at the bitter end of the quest. Kulu Yaku had like maybe 100 HP left and I choked. Despite that, I kept it moving because I felt good. After slaying Kulu Yaku, I realized I could fight Anjanath. The question was, should I? Well, even if I slayed Anjanath, I don't get to use the materials from it until later on in the story. And the fact of it was, I was way under-equipped to take on a monster of that quantity without items. The most logical answer would be to just leave. But do I look like I'm saying, I'm gonna go kill Anjanath? Nope, I decided to try to take down Anjanath. So with my potato leather armor and a dream, I went to go slay Anjanath. Well, maybe not that time, but I did it this... Yes, I did feint to Anjanath twice, but at least I got ahead on some... Where the hell did he just go? Anjanath left the locale. Yep, not only did I waste my time, I didn't even get to slay Anjanath because it dug into the ground to escape the locale. Back to progressing the story, my next assignment was to take down Pookie Pookie. As I ran in circles looking for it, my roommate invaded my room and harassed me for a while. Every day, bro, every day. Yeah, especially Asian. And as I found Pookie Pookie and began my fight with it, I realized there would be a big issue. Status inflictions. It was really easy to get inflicted with poison by Pookie Pookie, and I didn't have any consistent way to try to heal it. And since there's no way to just cure it without items, I would have to just wait it out if I got inflicted and be careful. Other than the poison, it was simple. With Pookie Pookie out of the way, it was off the Wildspire Waste for the best kind of quest. Thankfully, this escort quest was simple. I got to beat up Rathian when I got the chance, I talked to Stream, and I prepared to face off against Barrett. Ah, yes. Barrett, the great monster. kinda. I like his ecological presence, but the fight itself, it's really mundane and kind of annoying. Thankfully, Bareth and Rathian decided to make a show for me, where they continued the fight over and over and doing a ton of damage to each other, making the hunt very, very simple. I started to notice a trend with these quests at this point. They were all standard and simple. Even against the Anjanath that bodied me twice, no items wasn't a huge issue at this point. Inconvenient, yes, but it wasn't hard. This trend continued with the Jiro Tortoise quest as well, and with a very simple day out of the way, I ended the stream. Day 1 was simple, so I had my expectations set high into day 2. The first monster I would fight is Tobigadachi. It was one of my most familiar monsters due to me having to grind it for a Thunder Axe on my Switch Axe run, so really it was no issue. Very simple. Despite the fight itself being simple, finding Tobigadachi ended up being a bigger issue. While searching for it, I had gotten myself lost. I couldn't remember where the cutscene would occur, and the scout flies were running me into dead ends. So I had to run around for 20 minutes just to find the cutscene area I said it was at, but didn't trigger the first time I went because I didn't get close enough. So basically 20 out of the 30 minutes I spent on the quest was looking for Tobigadachi instead of actually fighting it. With that damn squirrel out of the way, it was time for my rematch. Lazio versus Anjanath, the Clash of Titans. It was going to be a tough match. No. Wait. Yeah, you got it.
Bye, have a great time.
Whoa, you went way off to the side.
I like it, good.
Yeah. Damn. That's for you. I died to Anjanath 3 times. Let's go. And honestly, despite fainting, it was a simple quest. With the Anjanath in the dirt, I quickly upgraded some armor and then set off to the Calamity Zoro Magdaros, aka the world's most boring fight. Nothing really happened. Maybe you will say, there's Nergigante, isn't there? And you'd be right. Unfortunately, but fortunately for me, a person joined my quest without my asking. This person was super kitted and bodied Nergigante in 10 seconds. Just watch.
Pelico! Thank you. Now I actually have HP.
Dude, you do so much damage! So yeah, I hit him once, and then spent the rest of the time trying to get my Palico to heal me. And the fight was over by the time I got the heal. With that super simple quest out of the way, we were off to the Coral Highlands, my personal favorite locale in the game. As I was exploring the area, I beat up Suzuyaku and tried to slay Legina.
Hey, I don't care. I'll fight him with no shit. Just blocking? I'm blocking?
Twice. Then I went home because it left. And just like day 1, everything continued to proceed smoothly. I had made a Palumu Parish, which I fainted to because I was messing around at the end. Went to the Rotten Vale, slayed Great Gyros for fun, and beat up Rotobon, and then went home. In one day I had 2 rematches as my next quest had me tackling Legina. It's a good time to mention, once again, status effects played a heavy role in this fight. I didn't realize it, but Ice Play is awful. This status effect makes your stamina bar decrease faster, and due to me not being able to eat rations or well-done steak, my stamina bar was often at or close to the minimum due to stamina deterioration. This meant not only did I have a low gauge, it also meant I had Ice Play. I could run for about 3 seconds before I ran out of stamina. It was a rough fight. Thankfully this time I didn't die to Legina, and afterwards I decided to play Puyo Puyo Tetris before ending the stream for day number 2. Going into this day, I knew it would be my last day in low rank. This meant that soon we would be hitting a difficulty spike. What I didn't know was how soon. We started day 3 by doing a bit of ore grinding. I wanted to upgrade my Buster Blade 1 to Buster Blade 2, so I took the first portion of the stream to do so. After grinding for a bit, we continued the story. We ventured off back into the Rotten Vale to face off against Odogaron. To my excitement, Odogaron has to be my single best quest. I have grinded it over 100 times, so I was very familiar with its kit. So after watching the handler be the handler, I easily crushed Odogaron and put it in the dirt before continuing about my way to find the first Wyverians in the ancient forest. Unfortunately for me, from here on, I would have a rough time. I landed in the ancient forest and wandered around for about 10 minutes looking for the Wyverian. After remembering where to go, I went to the Rathalos nets to trigger the cutscene and begin my hunt on Rathalos. It started well, but predictably, Rathalos posed a lot of issues. The first and most annoying issue was the status ailments. Rathalos had not only Fire Blight, but also Poison. He also had a few moves that easily stunned. The second issue is that Rathalos can do a ton of damage. When you combine these two facts, plus my lack of an easy healing source, it gets really easy to get caught lacking. The final issue is the AI that controls Rathalos. It is set to favor flying unlike its Rathian counterpart. Typically, this isn't a huge issue, but without a consistent flash, my only option was to try to claw it out of the air or find a flash fly. Add all this together and some luck for Rathalos, and it results in 2 really stupid deaths. Thankfully, I had done it in the expedition, but it still startled me. I slayed it, but I was shaken. This would have been the first time I had been close to failing a quest in the run. Thankfully, the worst was the past. Psych! Diablos somehow was even worse. Diablos also has a crazy damage output, with most of its attacks being very wide ranged. Add the fact that I didn't have Screamer Pods to deal with the burrowing, and it was a tough fight. Once again, I died twice in double quick time, which meant I had to play very safe for the majority of the quest. If it wasn't for me learning how to use the noise effectively on the go, and that cactuar at the end, there was a good possibility I would have failed this quest. Thankfully, I had gone through these 2 rough quests against Rathalos and Diablos, and the worst had come to pass. The only quest I had left before high rank was Zoro Magdaros. This quest was notoriously simple, but the only hard part being Nergigante. But somehow, I almost failed this quest as well. I had forgotten you couldn't use Palicos on Zoro Magdaros, so when I went to go attack the magma cores, I got chunked out with no way to heal. After I had already gotten low, I decided to switch tactics and attack those pillar looking things. Unfortunately, I couldn't find them, and when I did, I couldn't figure out how to use them. While I was searching for them, Zoro Magdaros charged an attack, and the attack hit me. And I was put on the brink of death, with a random fireball finished me off. Honestly, at that point, I was flabbergasted, but I was kind of relieved. That meant I got to go into the Nergigante fight with full HP. And right on cue, when I returned from fainting, Nergigante had arrived just to one-shot me. After once again returning, I chased Nergigante away via mounting, and then decided to just wait out the back phase. It was the final stretch. All I needed to do was shoot some cannons, maybe hit a Dragonator once or twice, and be about my way. This is when misfortunate luck, if you want to call it, kicked in. As I was trying to use one of the cannons, Zoro Magdaros charged the fireball, and it hit me. And it set me on fire. So I was nearly dead with Fire Blight. Thankfully, to some quick thinking and my Palico, I managed to roll out the Fire Blight and get a heal, thus allowing me to finish off Zoro Magdaros. And that was the final hiccup in my run through low rank. With Zoro Magdaros out the way, I had officially finished low rank with no items, with only 13 deaths and 0 failed quests. To recap, the feints I received: 1 from Kuluyaku, 3 from Anjanath, 1 from Paolumu, 2 from Lagina, 2 from Rathalos, 2 from Diablos, 1 from Zoro Magdaros, almost 2, and 1 from Nergigante. Now, it's on to high rank. If you made it this far, thank you so much. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna make more videos like this going into the future. If you're interested in seeing me do this live, go to Lazio Hero on Twitch, and you can see me do this run in high rank. With that said, I'm outie.